Welcome to Success by 25. Today's topic: recognizing yourself. Have you ever wondered why a fleeting glance, a dismissive smile, a careless judgment from others can shatter the spirit of a person? Millions live each day in glass cages, obsessed with the attitudes of those around them, layering on masks of polite smiles and nods, playing the well-behaved role just to avoid being disliked or left behind. How many souls rot away, sacrificing themselves for the approval of a blind crowd, dying slowly in the consensus of a world that never truly cared. But what if all of that is just smoke, a warped mirror reflecting only what others want to see? Then what really matters in this life? Wounds carved by outsiders' eyes, injuries that never heal because of their glances, only sink deeper, cracks that never close. The attitudes of others cannot define anyone's value. When the applause fades, when those who once praised you vanish, what's left but the naked self standing at the edge of reality's abyss? Some souls, only after falling from the stage of vanity, truly begin to live. Only when the curtain falls, when no one applauds or judges, can the faint echo from within be heard. The most primal question awaits everyone. What kind of life do you want, and with whom? No one escapes limits. Humans are born dreaming of freedom, yet we arrive in this world without wings. Those who yearn to fly only feel the earth's pull more harshly, the sky forever unreachable. A bird without wings is left only with memories of flight. A person is shackled by body, age, the boundaries of the mind, helplessness, limitation. These are scars etched deep in the fate of humankind. Only those who dare to look truth in the eye survive. Those who fool themselves into believing they are always the main character are merely children who refuse to grow, drunk on the fantasy of immortality. No one changes reality through wishful thinking. After smashing your head against fate's silent wall, the only thing left is your inner voice. What do you want? Who do you want to become? That is the only starting point for every real journey. If your soul craves solitude, remain in the dark. If your heart thirsts for storms, step out into the street and brace for the impact. If you seek peace, have the courage to choose it. If you want to go far, accept nights of loneliness and lost directions. Every choice takes a piece of your soul. There is no easy road, no freedom without a price. That is life's harshest law, where every illusion is stripped away until only your true self remains. No one regrets living true to themselves. Only those who serve others' approval die with longing. No one but you can answer the question, what really matters in life? It is the courage to face yourself, to choose your fate, success or failure, pain or happiness. The soul is never truly free if it thirsts for validation from the world. Strength is not in seeking the spotlight, but in standing alone in the darkness, trembling in your own shadow, and still choosing to go on, to be yourself. The greatest freedom is the freedom to choose one's attitude in the face of pain, of limitation, of the dense darkness that life relentlessly throws at you. Some spend their whole lives running from the truth, only to be left empty and regretful, never once daring to live for themselves. Yet there are others, those who have fallen, who have been ground down by the wheels of judgment, who finally discover a hidden path. Stop living as a beggar for approval, stop screaming for recognition, and instead quietly nod to your own darkness, choosing to exist despite every condition, every outside expectation. Only when there's nothing left to lose, when the soul is calloused from 100 wounds, does a person finally understand. No one but yourself can grant your freedom. No one but you holds the authority to give meaning to. Every day lived. If you cannot fly, then learn to dance on broken feet. If you cannot be loved by the whole world, then learn to cherish yourself amid loneliness. Never let your soul rot in the prison of agreement. Never let your life drift beneath the shadow of another. Never let the world's voices drown out the voice within. At the end of all the struggle, every road leads to the same question. What attitude will you choose before a brutal reality? Will you keep acting as the good person for approval, or dare to be cast aside so you can exist wholly as yourself? Will you spend another day in a gilded cage, or break the lock, bleed, and step outside to breathe the cold air of true freedom just once? Those who choose a life of lies will never taste serenity. Only those who strip away every layer, who dare to be alone, who dare to hurt, will receive the final gift, peace that can never be taken away. Those who always wear masks, who keep becoming someone else, end up gathering shards of a soul they can never piece together. Don't reach the end and discover you never truly existed. Don't let every sunrise be a repeat of an old performance. Remember, your attitude is what matters most, because only it decides who you are, no matter how the world looks at you. After stripping away all the masks, after every shattered expectation, after the applause has long faded, the soul reaches an absolute stillness. No longer clinging to the craving for agreement, no longer fearing abandonment, no longer caring for a place on any stage except the silent one within the self. There, all illusions of glory turn cold as stone, all fears dissolve into nothing, leaving only one unavoidable question. Do you have the courage to live just once as yourself, to nod at your flaws, to hold on to the truth even when pelted with stones, to calmly watch the world turn its back and still never turn your back on yourself? Only in being pushed to the extreme does the naked truth of self become sharpest. The strong are not those who conquer every physical limit, but those who know when to stop at their own boundaries, to watch quietly, to accept and peel away each illusion one by one. No longer obsessed with society's blind race, no longer using others to confirm their value, no longer living on the scraps of light reflected from outside. All these crumble to dust when the soul returns to its primal bedrock, realizing that the greatest freedom is the freedom to choose your fate, to keep your core unyielding no matter how many storms rage outside. There are people who never wake up simply because they fear their own inner voice, afraid that honesty would cost them everything others once gave: affection, admiration, status, power, a safe disguise. Yet there are souls who, after falling into 1,000 abysses, quietly gather their fragments, piece themselves back together with truth, build a fortress that no insult can breach. These are the awakened, those who understand the value of choosing their own attitude when facing a harsh reality. At the deepest layer of awareness, there is no room for self-pity, no space for fragile pride, no more need to be anything but this soul intact, cold, not needing anyone's approval, not needing anyone to understand. Only there, in the nakedness of self, can one know true freedom, true peace, true glory, not from the spotlight, not from applause, but from the silent nod to oneself in the longest darkness. The self is born in the icy truth, grows up in the storm of judgment, and matures amid the ruins of every societal expectation. Only those who have survived the hell of public gaze, the hell of agreement, the hell of pretense know the taste of freedom. Perhaps the world will never understand the one who is silent, who refuses to compete, who withdraws from the spotlight. But the value lies in this: such a person has never once sold themselves out not for a day. The price of freedom is always blood and tears, sleepless nights facing wounds unseen, hundreds of moments of silence against ridicule, the strength to walk through storms without waiting for calm. Those who can give up all outside affirmation have reached the final frontier of individuation. There is no need to belong to any group, no need to bow for approval from strangers. Each morning, it's enough to know your soul remains intact, never trimmed or shaped by eyes, judgments, or fake safety nets. There, the self is as hard as stone, the heart as cold as iron, yet can still smile calmly even as everything collapses outside. Only those who have broken the chains of expectation know how to truly live, to die, to be reborn from all the world has rejected. People often ask what the meaning of life is, but most only hope for an answer that soothes. A confirmation that following others, being content, walking in the footsteps of the crowd is enough. But happiness never comes to those who just replay someone else's script. True freedom and real growth are reserved for those who dare to live a different life, who hold onto their own patch of ground, even if it means solitude, even if it costs everything the outside world calls success. In the chill of true individuation, every day is a choice: to keep the soul whole, or to put on another borrowed coat just to join the masses. At the end of every current of will, at the bottom of every inner darkness, one cold blade of truth remains. Those who have stepped out of the abyss are no longer afraid of the dark. Don't betray yourself for their approval, or regret is all you'll feel. Those who wear masks and become someone else after all, that will never be their true self. How many times has a soul longed to scream but swallowed the words back, all for fear of standing out? How many people erase themselves from life's map simply to survive in the artificial warmth of community, of society, of standards that never truly belong to them? Those who awaken will realize with each betrayal of the self, the world does not become wider, only the darkness inside grows. Beneath the stage lights, every face is beautiful, every performance flawless. But when the velvet curtain falls, only the ragged breath of helplessness and shattered dreams remains, buried deep within. The one honest with themselves is the one who dares to break the chains of collective expectation, accepts that out there are countless skies they'll never touch, and in return, gains the right to rule over the tiny sky of their own. The maddest are those who dare to love their own shadow, who gaze at pain as if it were a monument sculpted from blood, tears, disappointment, and betrayal. No one is perfect enough never to collapse. No soul is so strong as never to tremble before the abyss. Yet it's in the moment of fear that real decisions are born: to keep running or to stop, to lift your head and stare into the darkness, swallow the bitterness of defeat, and stand up on scarred legs. Strength isn't about never falling, but about rebuilding yourself from your own ashes, about standing naked before pain and using it to forge an unbreakable self. If the attitudes of others don't matter, then what truly matters in your life? It is the moment you let go of applause, praise, validation, and tell yourself, being true is enough. If you can befriend solitude, master silence, sing for yourself in a night no one else hears, that is the only freedom no power can take. You don't need to be anyone but yourself. Don't need to race across someone else's sky. Only hold on to that small patch of soul and let it blossom, even in the longest winter, even if no one notices. Clinging to others' approval is selling your soul cheap at the world's market. Don't become a beggar for acceptance. Don't wear a mask so long you forget your real face. In the end, only a soul faces itself in absolute silence. No one cares how well you performed. Only a weak echo remains. Did you ever truly live? There are souls who never know exactly when they died, only that they spent a lifetime conforming to the molds of others. The self bleeds quietly each day, gradually petrified beneath the weight of standards erected by the crowd. Cold faces in the street, judgmental glances, poisonous whispers all like dull blades that don't sever flesh but slowly cut into resolve, freedom, and the belief that you have the right to exist your own way. Strength is not measured by how many love you, nor by the accolades gathered, but by the courage to be alone, to pick up the shattered pieces of your own spirit on the battlefield of stares, words, and silent rules that govern this world. A harsh truth: society doesn't care who you are. Today, the crowd may cheer you. Tomorrow, the same people will trample your name without a flicker of remorse if you falter or stray. In the end, each soul is a lone warrior, forced to dissect every layer of falsehood, every crease of old wounds, every scar the world has left on skin and heart. Ask yourself, how many masks have yet to be removed? How many times have you whispered, It's fine, just one more time, only to grit your teeth at night, knowing tomorrow you'll play the same part that was never yours to begin with? People judge because they fear confronting their own shadows. The more true you are to yourself, the more you will be condemned by those who have never tasted freedom. But this is the one trial every soul must pass to truly exist. The greatest strength is not to be unbreakable, but to live, to hurt, to accept imperfection, to walk through jeers, contempt, and every cruelty the world throws at you just to protect a small patch of ground for your real self. Not everyone has the courage to cross that boundary. Most retreat, build their own prisons of acceptance, silence themselves with safe advice, and lull themselves to sleep under the blanket of meaningless agreement. But when night falls, when every mask is stripped away, only the trembling soul is left in the darkness. Who are you? Beyond your roles, beyond a body riddled with the scars of failure, beyond the memory of kneeling down and asking, "Is it worth going on?" If you can cross that darkness without fleeing, begging, or disguising, you'll find a cold but pure light, the light of freedom, of individuation, of a strength that never comes from the crowd, but is born when all doors slam shut, and the only path left is through yourself, back to your origin. In the thickest darkness, when not a single hand claps and no gaze rests on you, the wanderer is finally forced to answer the cruelest question. This self, who does it exist for? Who does it live for? And who will it die for? How many have spent their lives striving to satisfy the pride of strangers, collecting compliments, hoarding admiration, draining their souls for a place, for glory, for that fleeting feeling of being acknowledged? Yet, at the end of every day, when you lay your head on your own arm, it is only yourself facing the darkness, listening to the pulse of a soul that was once abandoned. No one is left to judge. No one cares how successful you were, how loved, how many times you were the main character on some stage. In that bare world, every mask falls away. Every performance ends, and only a frail voice from deep within asks again, "Have you ever truly lived for yourself? Or have you only been a stray shadow in someone else's dream?" Individuation is a scalpel cutting straight into the soul, beginning with a rejection of the illusion that your life's meaning lies in others' eyes. No one truly achieves anything while still chained to the approval, the validation of the outside world. Glory is a sweet poison that paralyzes, toppling even the strongest. It turns the proudest into obedient slaves to public opinion, to the collective identity. Yet, those who wake up and see that all of this is nothing but a drawn-out farce until the fire in their heart dies ere the few who glimpse their true form. The greatest wound is not betrayal by others, not abandonment, but the moment your own soul betrays itself, when your true being is forever imprisoned behind society's sugary masks. People fear loneliness, but the deepest loneliness is not being left behind, but being locked inside a prison built from the gazes of others. Every time you bow to someone else's standards, yourself withdraws a little further from your own life. A little more light is extinguished inside, replaced by a thick shadow born from shoulds, from needing to fit in, from needing to be praised. The world is full of souls willing to sell themselves cheaply for the comfort of acceptance, never realizing the cost is a soul grown cold, numb, and, in the end, dead before ever truly living a single day. Freedom isn't about breaking every chain, but about willingly choosing your own shackles. A bird without wings may never soar above the clouds, but it can still dance on the earth, sing its own song, choose how to face the pain of never flying. That is the final power no one can steal, the freedom to choose your attitude toward life. Reality may be brutal, limits may never break, but amid all the wreckage, there is a plot of land that cannot be invaded, where will is everything. Whether you stay silent or scream, cry or laugh, collapse or rise again, no one can replace you. No one is allowed to decide for you. Thank you for watching until the end. Remember, recognize yourself. Don't waste your life for someone else's approval. This is Success by 25.